Hello and welcome to Mrs. Hyde's seance room, where we connect to our dearly departed and whoever else wants to come through. So, in today's mini episode, we will be talking about a famous person's cursed vehicle. Now, if you haven't guessed it by now, I am going to be talking about James Dean's cursed little bastard. Now, we all know James Dean died a horrific death, broke his neck in the car accident. We also know that he was a car enthusiast. He loved racing. He loved doing all that stuff. So, the vehicle in question is James Dean's Porsche Spider 550. Now, let's get into this and we'll touch base on what this little mini episode's about. So, on September 30th, 1955, James Dean met a tragic end on Highway 41 and Junction Highway 46. So where those two meet in California is where Mr. Dean, met his tragic end. Now, a little bit after 5 p.m., he slammed into a 2950 Ford Tudor that was trying to avoid that intersection. So now that's how he died in the area where he died. Now, his mechanic, who happened to be the sole survivor of that vehicle accident and was ejected from the vehicle, managed, like I said, to survive with some injuries. Now, let's go into a brief history of the vehicle. Now, while he was filming Rebel Without a Cause, he bought himself the Porsche 550 Spider. Now, he was a racing enthusiast, and he wanted to customize this vehicle. So, his mechanic, George Barris, worked on the car. He added two tartan seats, 2 red stripes, and the number 130 all over the vehicle. Later on, James Dean christened the vehicle called Little Bastard. As to why he called it Little Bastard, I have no idea, but that's a weird name to name your vehicle. I shouldn't be talking. My car is named after a Mexican wrestler. El Demonio Azul, Blue Demon. Anyways, getting back to James Dean. James truly loved his vehicle. He would flaunt it around whenever he could. So wherever he would go, he would make sure to be showing off his little spider. But there were a lot of people who didn't feel that same passion as James did. And one of those people was the actor Alec Guinness, who played the original Obi-Wan Kenobi of the Star Wars trilogy. Now, he ran into James Dean outside of a restaurant, and he claimed that the vehicle had something sinister to it. And he told James, this time next week, you're going to be dead. So, call it premonition, call it gut feeling, but, Alec told James that. So why is the little bastard cursed? Now, James Dean may be the only person that the car claimed, but he isn't the only one. Or the car claimed the only celebrity would be James, but of all the people, he wasn't the only one that the vehicle would have taken its life. There were several people who came into contact with the vehicle that have either been killed or maimed. Let's see. It started with George Barris, who bought it, whatever was left of the vehicle after the accident, for $2,500. Now, after the vehicle was shipped, it slipped off this trailer and broke his leg. Incident number 1. Now, then George sold the engine and the drivetrain to a gentleman named Troy, and then the other guy named William. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, while William and Troy were racing each other, which their vehicles contain the engine of the little bastard and the drive chain of the little bastard, they get into a car accident. Troy lost his life after his car went out of control and hit a tree. William was seriously injured when his car locked up and rolled when he took a turn. So 2 and 3. So a broken leg is number 1. A death when it hit the tree, and he seriously injured when it rolled after he took a turn. Okay. Now, if you thought those tragedies were caused by a faulty car parts, here are some more. George sold 2 brand new tires from the little bastard. Okay. Now, the owner who purchased those tires had a blowout and he barely survived when the car went off the road. Okay, that's 4. 2 thieves decided to steal little bastard. Sans sold parts for Barris. Now, one of the thieves had his arm torn open trying to get the steering wheel, and the other one was injured while trying to remove the bloody seat. Okay. Now, Barris George lent the vehicle to the California Highway Patrol for an exhibition, and the car, the chassis was housed in a garage, and that garage caught on fire and burned to the ground, but nothing happened to the vehicle. By some miracle, that vehicle survived that garage burning to the ground. So then the CHP takes the vehicle and does another exhibition, and this time in a high school. Some kid in the high school gets injured due to the vehicle falling off its display. Now, while transporting the little bastard, a truck driver lost control of his truck, fell out of the truck, and was crushed when the vehicle fell off the truck. Now, it wasn't long before the little bastard disappeared or was completely hidden to prevent any more injuries or death. So, do you think that little bastard was haunted and cursed? Do you think that all these incidents, all these accidents, all these tragedies were just a coincidence of, people who've had certain things just a coincidence. I personally believe that the little bastard was cursed. And my reason to think that is that James Dean, to me, was the type of person who, no matter how good of an actor he was or he wasn't, he had this energy that wasn't too. It was more like a depressed, negative. Because I've seen Rebel Without a Cause, and his acting was like whatever, but his eyes told a different story, and it kind of reminded me like a sad little kid, in a way, and cars were his pride and joy. I don't know. That's what I picked up. But I think when he died in the car accident, that whatever he was going through at that time, whatever energy he had, was projected to the vehicle, and then subsequently, sorry, having trouble pronouncing that word. Everybody who had the vehicle at some point after the incident encountered some type of residual energy. So whatever it had kind of sort of rubbed off onto them, and it was just negative. That's what I think. I think the car is cursed, in a way of Mr. Dean's energy, but I can be wrong. I'm only human. But anyways, that's our mini episode for today. If you liked our episode, please subscribe. Go to any of our platforms and leave a 5-star review. Leave us some feedback. That way, it helps us in the ratings. It also tells me, what you guys like, what you don't like. If you guys have any ideas, any stories, any comments, any questions, any concerns, feel free to email them in to me at whattheparanormal77@gmail.com, or you can send me a message on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and that way we can try to improve and grow the podcast. So now, with that being said, I would like to close the seance room, and our dearly departed have now departed to the other side. So you all have a good day. Stay safe, stay cool, and don't forget to keep it ghosting.
So, with this coronavirus epidemic that we have going on, you have many celebrities, you have actors coming in and joining the podcast community, and you want to jump into it. Well, if you haven't heard, there's a program that you can use called Anchor, now, which is the easiest way to create a podcast. It's free. Um, there's a whole bunch of creation tools that allow you to record, edit your podcast from your phone, your tablet, your laptop, your computer. Um, it'll even distribute them for you. So it'll be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many other podcast platforms. You can make money with your podcast with no minimum listenership. Like I said, we have a lot of celebrities, we have a lot of actors, actresses joining the podcast community. So they'll be making money because of their followers. Well, you can do it too. You could have 2 followers and still be making money. So it's an easy way to join the podcast community because this program lets you um, make money with no minimum listenership. and it has basically it has everything you need from podcast program all rolled into one. So if you want to join the community, don't forget to download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and get started. Join us independent um, podcasters along with the celebrities and the actors and the actresses who are on the podcast community. So don't forget, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.